All right, good evening, everyone. It is about that time. It's 6:30. I'm going to call to order the Kalamazoo County Board of Commissioners, September 2nd, 2025 regular business meeting. Our first item on the agenda is the invocation and reflection. And I see I was assigned to do our invocation tonight and I hadn't planned for it. So, but I don't mind. I will just speak a minute from the heart. So please, I'm just going to sit. I'm more comfortable that way. Join with me. Dear God, please help guide this board as we have deliberations and make decisions tonight, to stand in our values, to uphold the dignity, care, and concern for everyone that resides within our community. Help us be focused on decisions that promote justice and equity, that remember that the fierceness of love is what we work to embody within our role in county government, and that we hopefully can work together to bridge the divides that hurt our community and our world, and eventually find the community that all of us deserve to live in as realized. Amen. Right, thank you. We'll go to item 3, which is our roll call. Clerk.
Commissioner Wheeler?
Here.
Commissioner DeLue?
Here.
Commissioner Gisler?
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler?
Here.
Commissioner Mazer?
Here.
Commissioner Morales? Commissioner Ray?
Present.
Chair Straps?
Here.
Vice Chair Taylor?
Here.
You have 8 present.
Thank you, Clerk. And again, for community members, Commissioner Morales informed us she wouldn't be able to join us this evening due to a death in her family. So again, our condolences to her and her family. We'll go to our next item is item number 4 for proclamations. We have none this evening. And then item 5, communications. We're in receipt of a number of annual reports. Our first 2025-1031 Equalization Department 2024 annual report. I don't know if there's any questions from commissioners. I just want to thank Director Matt Hansen and staff in equalization for their work on this. Just as we accepted the equalization report in mid-April, identified we have 15.4 billion in state equalized value in the county and 11.5 billion in taxable valuation. It talked about a number of priorities in the equalization department I found interesting. And there also focus on working for technology modernization and their pivot point software that they're hoping to advance. So I appreciated learning about them from the report. So thank you for that. All right. Next, we'll go to our Human Resources Department annual report. That's item 2025-1032. Are there any questions from commissioners there? Okay. Also, just share my thanks to our HR Director, Sharon Brown. A lot of valuable insights. It's a long report. I found it interesting to note 34.8% of county employees are union employees. Much of them found in our law enforcement community, but not all. The average tenure has gone to 8.9 years. So I think that speaks highly. Certain departments like the sheriffs, the prosecuting attorney, courts had particularly long tenure. And we did see turnover decrease. It had escalated pretty dramatically over the last few years, but we did see it begin to decline down to a 20% turnover rate, which is still pretty high, but we're seeing it improve. So It's nice to see. Also, just bring to focus a couple of other things I noted. We have 32 families currently receiving TRICARE. We saw a big increase in the number of employees using Marathon Health, 173 visits, I think, in the first year, up to over 1,000 last year. And we had 5,570 people apply to work at Kalamazoo County. So I think that speaks to us as a desired employer, and hopefully we keep on that same track. So thank you to the director for all of that information. All right, the last of the annual reports we had 2025-1094. We had Michigan State University Extension, their 2024 annual report. And that talked through a number of different programming offerings provided. We got the report from Interim District Director Kay Gritter, and 3,365 people participated in programming and 341 volunteers. So community is engaged in learning and growing, and that was also good to see. So I thank the extension for their work and the report provided to us. All right, the next couple here, we had Berrien County resolution in support of Senate Bills 293 and 294. We also received a public hearing notice for 19 Props LLC. It's a commercial rehabilitation district. This will actually be held September 2nd at or after 7 p.m. in the City of Kalamazoo Commission chambers. If there are any community members interested in attending that public hearing. Vice Chair.
I would be remiss if I also didn't give a shout out to the HR department. One of the, I think, worst things that we did as a county in the last few years was Munis going to our new ERP system, and their ability to hobble that together and keep payroll going was really a testament. So I know Gene was a big part of that, and you guys are doing that now. And I think from the board, I want to say thank you for all the employees. Thank you for doing that. I know that was not hard, and that's not a system that should be used, but thank you.
Well said. I think everybody gets those paychecks is thankful. Okay, we'll go to item 6, approval of minutes. I'll entertain a motion. Approval of the August 19, 2025 draft committee of the whole and regular meeting minutes. Motion made by Vice Chair Pro Tem, supported by Commissioner Wheeler. Any further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. We'll go to item 7, approval of the agenda. Commissioner Wheeler.
Thank you, Chair. I move that we approve the agenda with the addition to consider under new business the Intergovernmental Fire Protection Hazardous Materials Incident Response Agreement.
Support. Thank you. Motion by Commissioner Wheeler, supported by Vice Chair Taylor. Is there any further discussion? All those in favor of the agenda as amended signify by saying aye. 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 Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, we'll go to item 8, an opportunity for presentations. We had some earlier, there are none needed at this meeting. Item 9 is for public hearings. We also have none scheduled tonight. Item 10 takes us to our first chance for public comment. In this session, it can be made in person or by phone. Individuals can call 855-925-2801 and enter meeting code 10748 and press *3 to join the queue. If you wish to speak during both public comment periods, you must press *3 again at any time after the first public comment period ends. Again, this is the first opportunity. You have up to 3 minutes to address us in a professional and respectful manner on any topic. Once you're recognized, please share your name and where you're from. Is there anyone who'd like to join us for public comment? Everyone so politely waits for somebody else to be the first to go. Thank you, and welcome to you.
Hi there, Jane Ghosh, Discover Kalamazoo. You will have seen in the packet that we have used the second American Rescue Plan Act grant that you allocated to us last December. So thank you very much for that incremental grant. We used it in part to get additional assets for our advertising campaign here in Kalamazoo County. So we had we used Elemental Media, a local crew, and they were at places all around the county, making sure that we had the right content to go with our campaign to encourage additional visitation to Kalamazoo County. So thank you very much for that. I also see that you are making decisions on potential additional American Rescue Plan returned money, and I recognize you have, a lot of projects to consider. Should there be a time when you need a home for those dollars in a way that can be spent efficiently and effectively, Discover Kalamazoo is at your service. This is a challenging year generally in the travel industry with economic uncertainty and other related issues. That includes Kalamazoo County. So our revenue is below our budgeted expectations. We are fine. We're making do. We're not cutting. We are not making any changes to our planned programming that can continue to drive visitation to Kalamazoo County. We're finding efficiencies elsewhere. That said, any American Rescue Plan dollars that even up through the end of year deadline, then you can allocate to us, we can quickly deploy it into media to encourage additional visitation to Kalamazoo County. So just wanted to put that forward for your consideration. Thank you.
Good. Thank you, Director Koch. Welcome.
I know that. Hi, everyone. Chair Stubbs, Vice Chair Taylor, Vice Chair Pro Tempo, Commissioners. My name is Gwendolyn Hooker. I am a Northside resident, business owner, and I'm going to try very hard to consolidate all of this into my allotted 3 minutes. The first thing is I wanted to, of course, everyone knows that August 31st is International Overdose Awareness Day. And I wanted to, as we know, there are some things that are on the agenda specifically related to the settlements of the opioid settlements. And I wanted to make sure that first everyone knows that there is an opioid crisis in our country, specifically in Kalamazoo County, and just some statistics to bring everyone up to date to where we are in Kalamazoo County. So right now, well, first of all, our statistics, we don't even really have to date, but the statistics that we most knew most recently for Kalamazoo County is that in 2022, we lost 65 people of fatal overdoses involving opioids from people from 21 to 88 years of age. And then in 23, we knew that we had 18 overdoses and 7 fatalities in April, and that was one cluster of overdoses that was like in a 24-hour period of time. So that was pretty unprecedented time in Kalamazoo, which led us to Kalamazoo creating the Kalamazoo County Task Force and really activating some things that were pretty unprecedented for us. What I really wanted to ask this body to do is to really concentrate on the body of work when you proclaimed the resolution and which activated that task force. In that body of work, there's some things that you did do, but there's also some things that haven't happened, which is to create an alert system that lets people know when there is bad drugs in a specific neighborhood. That would save lives. Which last week we lost 3 people, maybe more. We don't really know, but we know that we lost 3 people in a very short amount of time. And maybe if we had that alert system, we may have been able to save some lives. And so it's really kind of imperative. We have the money, we have the infrastructure. I'm not really sure why that hasn't been activated or implemented, but it's something that really should be done. And it's something that could be done pretty easily because we already have an emergency weather system. We have we have something that we could easily utilize and build out to create that emergency drug alert system. If we just, concentrated on it and set it as a priority. To that point, we do have,
Gwendolyn. We've hit our 3 minutes. Right? We look forward, we have another opportunity. Yep, absolutely. Thank you so much. All right, is there anyone else wishing to make public comment? Dina, do we have anyone online?
Chair, we do not.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, we will move forward from public comment. We'll go to item 11, the approval of the consent agenda.
I move that we approve the consent agenda as one motion by the board and considered as a single motion by the board. I don't have my sheet.
You did it just fine. Motion by Vice Chair Taylor, supported by Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler to approve the consent agenda. Any further discussion? Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler,
yes.
Commissioner Mazer, Commissioner Morales, Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Chair Strebs,
Yes.
Vice Chair Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Yes.
Commissioner DeLuke, Commissioner Gisler,
Yes.
8 yes.
Thank you. That motion carries. We'll go to item number 12, unfinished business and general orders, which there are none. And we'll go to item 13, our new business, non-consent. First, we'll take up item, let's go through that. Thank you, Commissioner Wheeler.
Thank you, Chair. I move that we approve the Intergovernmental Fire Protection Hazardous Materials Incident Response Agreement and that the chair is authorized to execute the agreement on behalf of the county.
Motion made by Commissioner Wheeler, supported by Vice Chair Taylor. Is there any further discussion? Vice Chair.
This was just something that popped up last second, right? Not controversial. Okay.
Absolutely. So just a ongoing intergovernmental agreement, and we just need to take action on that quickly this evening so that it remains functional. All right, nothing further. Clerk, will you please call a roll?
Commissioner Mazer, Commissioner Morales, Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Chair Strebs,
Yes.
Vice Chair Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Yes.
Commissioner DeLuke, Commissioner Gisler,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler.
Yes.
You have 8 yes.
Thank you, Clerk. That motion carries. We'll go to our next item, new business item 2025-1110. This is our amendment of purchasing policies and procedures manual, section 13, known as the responsible bidder policy.
So moved.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Vice Chair. Moved by Vice Chair Taylor, supported by Commissioner Wheeler. Discussion, Vice Chair.
I just want to thank the chair. I want to thank corporate counsel, Deputy Administrator Cole, and purchasing director or manager Balboza. That we worked really hard for a number of years on this, and I think Kalamazoo County is in a much better place. We've made it much simpler from taking it from complicated 2-step process to now it's down to one. It's a complicated one, but it's from 2 complicated down to 1, so it's easier. It's easier for local businesses. It's going to provide a leg up for the people that are paying our millages and paying our tax dollars. These companies will now have an ability to compete with some of the bigger companies from Grand Rapids and outside of our community. And I think that's just a great testament to to make Kalamazoo County a great place to live, work, and play.
Thank you. And I also want to extend my thanks and appreciation to Vice Chair. He and I had many discussions in our time serving together about how to best move forward and refine this process, but really with the expertise of our administrative team. So I did not take enough of an opportunity last time to thank Corporation Counsel Smith for his ongoing back and forth with my feedback and concerns, and really working to dig into that policy with us over a number of months. And then certainly Manager Barboza bringing that all to fruition when joining the team. We're really pleased with the product that we've put forward. This focuses Kalamazoo County on values-based purchasing in our large construction projects. It focuses how we allocate our resources on building a quality, construction project that has connected benefit to the community. There'll be an opportunity for local contractors to be at the table along with others to have a balanced playing field so that we have consideration not just of what we're building, but the wages that people receive, the benefits that the workers receive, the value that it provides economically to the stability of the community during its construction and after. So that's exciting. We look forward to seeing how its impact is felt, and we'll have opportunity for further discussion and refinement as needed in the future. But I think we did something pretty good, and thank you very much, Council and Manager Barboza. All right. Nothing further? All right, with that, clerk, please call the roll.
Commissioner Morales, Commissioner Ray,
Yes.
Chair Stretz,
Yes.
Vice Chair Taylor,
Yes.
Commissioner Wheeler,
Yes.
Commissioner DeLue,
Yes.
Commissioner Gisler,
Yes.
Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler,
Yes.
Commissioner Mazer.
Yes.
8 yes.
Absolutely. Thank you. That motion carries. Move next to item 2025-541. It's a request for approval and signature of a housing funding agreement, Kalamazoo Neighborhood Housing Services, in the amount of $400,000 for down payment assistance program. Motion made by Vice Chair Pro Tem Hepler and supported by Vice Chair Taylor. Open discussion. This was just an item I requested come from the consent agenda, just so there was an opportunity to talk about it a little bit. We've done a lot of advancing affordable housing through the housing millage, and this is just another opportunity. This one focuses specifically on single family housing and helps connect families to that, bridging that gap to make that down payment needed to get them into a home of their own. And I think what's exciting about this, it reinvigorates the KNHS fund that supports this sort of investment in families, and it is similar to what will have come before us later, where we support work like this for our own employees as well. So I'm excited about that opportunity and for this one. So I just wanted to highlight that for the community. Commissioner Ray.
Thank you, Chair. I too also like these programs. I also like when we do the multi-year funding. But I would also like to see the reports. Are they meeting their metrics? I know here it says that they would help 40 families with down payment assistance. Did that happen? I just would like some follow-up before we vote to allocate funding for the second year or third year, whatever it is in the process for some of these organizations, just so that we're not funding programs that are not actually doing the work.
Absolutely. I don't know if our Deputy Housing Director to Toronto would like to speak to that. She did hang tight for our meeting this evening, which we appreciate. Thank you, Deputy Director.
Good evening. So I know that was a request from when we were discussing the millage applications that were going to come forward. I did send a report on their prior performance, and I can recirculate that one. And then we can absolutely send periodic reports on where they are in their grant performance on this upcoming funding cycle as well.
Deputy Director, was that report was sent after our discussion on the housing millage
Yes.
recently? Okay. Thank you.
And yeah, again, I can recirculate it so that everybody has that memo in the report.
Okay, we appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay. Any further discussion? Commissioner Ray, does that suffice for now? Do you want to? That's fine. Okay. Okay. All right, thank you. All right. I appreciate Deputy Director's time and providing us those report details to review, and then hopefully we see strong success and can feel confident going forward. Hopefully we'll see similar success for employees. All right, with nothing further, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, we'll move to our final item. This is item 2025-1139, request for approval of amendment number 4 to the Sector Strategies Employer-Led Collaborative SSELC Grant Agreement. Motion is made by Commissioner Wheeler. Is there support? Support was, I'm sorry, by Vice Chair Taylor. Let's open it for discussion. Administrator, I'm sorry, go ahead, Vice Chair.
This was just added, correct, recently? I didn't see it this morning. Maybe I missed it.
Yes, sorry,
Thank
I
you,
was thinking
Administrator.
that we were talking about the other item that was just the, anyway. Yes, this item was just added last minute at the request of Michigan Works, and they requested it through Chair Strebs, who approved it to go on the agenda under non-consent for board discussion. It's an item that was actually presented to Michigan Works on Friday at 4:04 p.m. and then they didn't get to it until Sunday, actually this past Sunday. It's an item that requires no additional funding. It merely just extends the contract with the state until June 30th, 2026.
And I just read it. It's good. It's perfunctory.
Yes, thank you, Vice Chair. This was one brought to my attention earlier today, so we republished the packet today with this material included. Not as last minute as the item we moved by a motion. But we appreciate the board's flexibility in trying to address issues that come up with our partners and keep it moving. All right, no further discussion. All right, all those in favor of signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. All right, excellent. Okay. We'll move now to reports of officers, bodies, and the administrator controller. Administrator. Oh, thank you so much. Getting ahead of myself. It is our second opportunity for public comment. Call the same number as stated below. Press *3 if you happen to already be in the queue. You have up to another 3 minutes. Professional, respectful manner, and once you're recognized, please share your name. There she is. Welcome.
Hello, I'm back. My name is Gwendolyn Hooker still. And so I was going to tell you all about the recovery and the Wellness and Recovery Festival that's this weekend. That's put on annually by the Recovery Institute. It is from 11 to 3 p.m. and it is hosted at the Bronson Park. It is basically a festival for all of the recovery entities that are in Kalamazoo. So it's a party, it's an opportunity to celebrate recovery. It is their 12th annual festival. So everyone is invited. Everything is free, but it is really a good time. There's going to be bands, there's going to be music. Yolanda Lavender is our headliner. Hope Through Navigation is the organizing sponsor, so we did a lot of work on getting the DJ and a lot of the artists that are going to be performing. So it's going to be really a mix of a lot of different artists, a lot of different food, a lot of different vendors, and it's going to be a great time. So come on out, bring your kids. It's kid friendly. Lots of stuff for the kids to do, lots of stuff for adults. So come on down, celebrate recovery. So that's the good news. You know, I always have good things and bad things. And so I would like to revisit a couple things that I heard in the administrators discussion as it relates to some of the information about the budget. And I was a little concerned when we started talking about trimming the budget and some of the things that you talked about when you want to trim the budget, which I think is a great idea. But when you redirect the funds, I would like to see some of those funds be redirected towards marginalized populations as opposed to redirecting them to court systems or something like that. Although I think that also is a priority, but I did not see any earmarkings or anything regarding gun violence, which I think is super important. We talk a lot about folks being killed, but we don't talk about the people that live. And I think that there should be funding for those folks, as well as and as well as spending money on one-time money on ARPA funds. I think that if you have one-time funds, you should get more bang for your buck and not use the money for hotels when you can use that money to actually build a more permanent structure, as opposed to spending money that you're basically throwing in the wind and you're never going to see again. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else wishing to make public comment? Thank you. Welcome. You have there's a little person on the button you press.
Got it. Sorry about that. Bill Hendry, MSU Extension. I just wanted to real quick thank you all for continued support of MSU Extension. You received the annual report that Kai Gritter did put together. I thought you summed it up, Chair Strebs, in regarding the residents being involved with programs and active. The only other thing I wanted to point out is that there were 36 local partners, and I just think that shows a lot too as far as collaboration in all areas, whether it be 4-H, and the expo was very successful, by the way, and agriculture, health and nutrition, and in our community, and food and environment. So again, just thank you so much.
Thank you as well. Anyone else? Okay, we'll move now to reports from the officers, bodies, administrator, controller. So again, I'll thank the board this evening for our work. We had a lot accomplished today. We've received a lot of material from our partners and internal departments. In our reports that we recognized, we advanced some strong policy. We had really meaningful and thoughtful discussion at Committee of the Whole to help inform direction of our policy positions going forward. And I'm always pleased when we engage in that work deeply with each other. I also want to take a opportunity just to share with the community a bit about the landing place that we continue to be deep in work on in the community. And recently there's been some media coverage, and I want to be clear, you know, Kalamazoo County doesn't speculate on to why people make decisions with developments or whether or not they participate as a partner in the development of the landing place. But what is clear is that Kalamazoo County is moving forward as we've promised. We're addressing real housing solutions. Our residents have been very, very clear at the public meetings, online and community forums, and through the 2020 voter-approved housing millage that we expect to see housing continuum addressed from the top to the bottom of our income spectrums. They expect us to act, and we are following up on that. So the landing place itself is a commitment to children and families, shows that stability is possible, and that this community will not turn away from them. Reflects the leadership that our community deserves. And it's a responsibility that all of us share. It's not only just a moral commitment that we're making, but it is also a smart economic decision. It brings new jobs to Kalamazoo County, and it reduces future costs for healthcare, education, and public safety. We help the children in these families have more stability. We really can have the opportunity to change the trajectory of their lives in doing that. So we know as we work forward, the momentum around the project is building. We're grateful to the partners that we have at the table, which include the City of Kalamazoo, the Irving S. Gilmore Foundation, and the Kalamazoo Community Foundation. Those partners recognize the importance of the landing place, and we encourage others to seize the opportunity to be part of this solution. Door is always open to anybody who's willing to help us invest in children, families, and in stability. And the moment to act on that is right now. Everyone wants the village, but it really takes all of us to be part of that. So here we're going to roll up our sleeves, we're going to work together, and we're going to ensure that children have the safe and stable foundation that they deserve. And we invite every partner, present and future, to stand with us in that work. And we're going to get it done. That's what I have tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. We've had a great discussion. We had a good committee of the whole where we all participated and got some good things done. And I thought that was a really good meeting where we all kind of put our input in there. Where the housing tax increment finance policy that we're endeavoring on through our brownfield is going to be very big deal as this new legislation that happened in 2023 that allows TIF districts for large single family housing projects is really a game changer. And we were at the forefront in our area of taking advantage of that for the pavilion project. We were one of the first to ever use that tool. It's going to be used a lot more throughout the state in the next 3 to 5 years. And Kalamazoo County will probably be at the forefront of that, which says that we're going to have a lot of more houses, single family houses is going to be created by this. We can focus our housing millage dollars on the most marginalized population now. I think that we can use that TIF district for the 80 to 120 AMI, and then we can use the focus of our housing millage to dig deeper and go down lower and look for the most vulnerable people in our community and give them a leg up. That's how I see us moving in that direction, as the 80 to 120 is going to be accomplished more through the land bank and through the brownfield. I have one more thing, but I lost my notes. But but the budget coming up, I look forward to doing that. I once again, Administrator, you did a great job of putting together your recommendations. We're gonna kind of absorb that and come back and give you some input and direction. But I think once again, you did a good job of getting us to a place where we can start and we can kind of see the end project, and we can, we might add $30,000 or $50,000 to the cannabis tax that I think we can do on the revenue side, and we can find a little bit of money here and there for different projects that commissioners have. But that's our charge, that's our job, and I think we do a good job of it. And compared to other municipalities, other counties, they're not doing this. They're not putting together housing. They're doing what's state mandated, and that's about it. That's all they can do. That's whether it be a lack of funding, lack of innovation, lack of imagination. This board has got that far superior than some of our surrounding counties. We're a working board. We're actually looking at how do we put our dollars and translate that into our values and make it life better for our citizenry. And I'm really proud of what this board has accomplished. And I know that we get better each and every single year. So as we continue through this budget process, as we continue and get better each and every year, we'll be an example for the rest of the state to follow. So, and if you're still up, it's time for bed.
He was a stickler all summer too. back at it in the school year. Vice Chair Pro Tem.
Thank you, Chair. I have to concur with what's being said tonight. I would caution that we need to be mindful of overregulation and overtaxation. That's what puts people out of homes. And we need to work to try to get these people into solid homes that provide them the shelter and the ability to move ahead in their lives. So I concur with what's being said, and I want to thank our administration and for the budget. It's the most important thing this board does is a budget. That's what runs this county. It's not all the other things we do are on the side, but the budget is the tool, the mechanism, how we fund everything from the courts, the sheriff's department, the health department, all of those things that make this county a great place to live, work, and play. I had to get that in again as I'm working on those t-shirts now, and I want everybody to have one. So we want to support all these other entities that are out there and keep our county as a great place to be. I want to thank all the departments that have sent in their annual reports. I thought they were very interesting. I'm hoping that the MSU extension can get that maple syrup thing going back out of Kellogg Forest again. That's huge for our community out there. And it's a great place to take the kids to go out and see how that stuff is made. They have no understanding. They find it in their supermarket and they think that's where it all comes from there. But it'd be nice to have that going again out there at Kellogg Forest. We have a lot of things that we should be very thankful for, and that brings me to my usual that we need to thank our men and women that protect us from here and abroad, our men and women on the fire lines, the police lines, and ambulance services, and our medical folks out there. When you see them, tell them thanks for what they do. Thank the folks that help keep this county clean and safe, our road commissioners and our health department folks. They appreciate that. They work through the weekend, the holidays, and I hope everybody had a great holiday. There were tragedies because sometimes people make bad choices, but sometimes things just happen. But we want to make sure that our citizens are as safe as we can make them and take care of things the best we can. I hope everybody has a great week. Thank you.
Thank you, Administrator Kent.
All right, thank you, Chair, Vice Chair Pro Tem, Commissioners, audience. I have several updates to share this evening about ongoing operations and initiatives. First one being the county budget. Just to hit on that subject, we continue in county administration, finance, and across departments, elected offices, and courts to fine-tune the fiscal year 2026 budget. We're carefully incorporating the feedback received during tonight's discussion into that draft, so rest assured we'll do that. And our team is on track to publish that budget book by September 16th, and we remain well positioned to meet our goal of approving the budget by the second meeting in October. In addition to the budget book, we plan to bring forward two important set of recommendations at the 16th, and so we're on the 16th. One is the HCS water issue. I don't want to and want you all to think, or at least even the public to think that we've forgotten about that issue. So we're formulating proposals to address the copper water line issues at the Health and Community Services Department. We're evaluating both the scope of repair and potential financing methods to ensure a responsible and timely solution to that. So look forward to that. The other topic that I want to mention, and that's the topic that I forgot during the budget discussion, was the community grants. That has not been forgotten. We have developed a scoring matrix, and we plan to bring that recommendation as well on the 16th so that the board can see where we landed on that. And that obviously reflects the board's priorities and input from community partners. So again, we plan to make the budget book live September 16th. Recognizing that there are still changes that can be made. It's just a better tool to help inform you and the public. We'll incorporate that feedback from the board and issue recommendations for HCS water lines and the community grants. So again, hopefully targeting approval the second meeting in October. On the wanted to just mention some of the annual report items that we talked about this evening during the regular meeting. Chair does a great job giving kudos to the departments and their leaders, the directors, and so we want to just shed some or actually highlight a few of the milestones rather that reflect their commitment to strong county governments and dedicated service. So human resources led by right now, right, obviously our new director Sharon Brown, former Christine Cunningham, they successfully launched a countywide leadership development program, preparing the next generation of supervisors and managers, which is huge for Kalamazoo County, as you know, with our rule of 80 and just succession planning in general. This is a great tool to build upon. They've expanded employee wellness incentives, which include new partnerships that broaden access to mental health resources. And then lastly, they've also streamlined recruitment processes, resulting in shorter hiring timelines for key county positions. Equalization, led by our illustrious director, Matt Hansen, does a great job. No one knows what equalization does, but they do a very important job for the county. And Matt leads a great team of dedicated professionals that are just numbers people. And so they do a great job. So obviously, one in particular, they completed the 2024 county equalization report on time, as they always do, ensuring fair, accurate, and property tax assessments across all the taxing jurisdictions. They've implemented a new mapping and valuation software, increasing efficiency and transparency in property data. And one of the other things I want to highlight was that they partnered with local units of government to provide training sessions for assessors and treasurers, improving consistency countywide, which is huge. It shows that we're trying to collaborate to ensure that everyone is on the same page. So that's a huge thing. And then lastly, one of the items that we were able to review tonight was the MXU extension report, and their annual report has a lot of information. They do a lot of work, and a lot of folks don't realize what they do. We just learned about some of the other things that they take on in our department head meeting, and it's just fascinating, all of the plethora of things that they take on. So just three highlights. One of the things that they did was expanded 4-H youth programming and reaching more than 3,000 young people across the county. They've provided critical nutrition education to low-income families, promoting healthier lifestyles and food insecurity, or food security rather. And then they also strengthened agriculture support services by helping local farmers adapt to changing market conditions and climate change challenges. And so very huge, as you know, the nutrition education to low-income families through SNAP Ed, those kind of programs are being targeted, and they're compromised, and it's something that obviously the public will need to speak to their local legislators and their federal legislators about, because it is a big deal, and we don't want to compromise and create food insecurity and promote unhealthy lifestyles because that funding is being compromised. And so anyway, I want to highlight some of those reports. I think that they're important for the community to know. A lot of work goes into preparing those reports, so we appreciate your attention to them, and certainly always reach out if you have any questions. One other item I want to highlight was the county health officer search. So that search for the next county health officer is officially underway. The position was posted on August 27th, and applications are due on September 23rd. Obviously, it's an important leadership position in the county, and we look forward to identifying a very strong candidate to guide our health and community services department into the future. So look forward to being engaged in that process in the near future. Wanted to shed light on homelessness and housing initiatives. So obviously county leadership has been partnering with multiple housing agencies, local municipalities, and members of the business community to address the needs of those experiencing homelessness. And our shared goal is to provide stable housing alongside supportive services to help individuals and residents rebuild their lives. So a major step in the right direction. And as the chair already opined on it, is underway to renovate the former county inn and suites on East Kilgore Road. This project will add capacity to help families in need. And so while work is still in the early stages, we are generating momentum and building support to ensure this initiative and others alike it bring meaningful solutions to our community. And so look forward to some of that promising impact that we'll have on the community as we still, build the momentum as we always do. And then lastly, I wanted to follow up on two specific committee of the whole items that I received inquiries on. One was the Pavilion ARPA award and how that money was reallocated. If you recall, that funding was reallocated to Metro Transit to support transportation issues at Pavilion Estates. So that funding did not go to after the storm, but rather Metro Transit, and so they're under contract with us. And then regarding the winter sheltering RFP, centering sheltering RFP, it is actually designed to support a myriad of things. So it would be day sheltering, overnight sheltering, code blue sheltering, which is what I referred to, which is the emergency extreme weather sheltering, and then also shelter access coordination in connection with this. And so I just wanted to provide clarification that it's not just for extreme weather. And that concludes my report for this evening, and thank the board and everyone else for their guidance, and all of the staff that contribute to the packet this evening. A lot of work goes into it, and appreciate your diligence. So thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Administrator. One additional follow-up for you, not on comments spoken to right now, but the State House of Representatives have passed their version of the budget, and I'd like you just to speak to, the level of state revenue sharing proposed and the impact, so that the community is aware and that commissioners certainly reach out to their state representatives around state revenue sharing. If you could speak to that for me, thank you.
Yes, absolutely. So the revenue that we baked into the budget originally considered all three, I say, chambers proposals. So we had the governor proposed a budget, the Senate, and then the House proposed a budget. So we kind of met in the middle there. And so the budget proposed by the House actually, from what I understand from Michigan Association of Counties, cuts it by about 30%, which is detrimental. That will have implications on this budget if that budget specifically was passed. So we have to depend on now the Senate and the governor to hopefully meet in the middle again. And so I think, that it's kind of a waiting game again, but we'll work to provide some solutions or some scenarios to present to the board on the 16th regarding that as well.
Thank you, Vice Chair.
Yeah, since I have no interest in running for higher office, I will just opine. There will not be, the state house is not going to pass a 30% cut in revenue sharing. Their base comes from counties and townships. That's the Republican state house base. This is gamesmanship. And then on the Democratic side, and Matt Hall will run circles around Winnie Brooks when it comes to any sort of negotiation factors. But I really wish the Democrats in the state Senate would get somebody to negotiate with Matt Hall, because that's not happening. You're just having these two sides draw lines farther and farther and farther apart from the sand. They're more concerned about their own political aspirations than they are of any sort of fundamental public servant. There's no way the state house is going to cut revenue sharing to counties by 30%. That is their base. That'd be like the Democrats saying they're going to cut the funding to the city of Detroit. It's not going to happen. It's the nonsense political stuff that's going on up there in Lansing just makes me start to realize maybe we do need a part-time legislature, because these guys are a bunch of idiots. And that, I'm done.
Thank you for sharing your feelings, Vice Chair. But I think, just one thing I'll add, I mean, obviously, any of the proposed budgets will not be what finally comes to fruition. We are likely to see a potential government shutdown, which has negative impacts. But I think it may be overly optimistic to suggest that people are not willing to cut revenue and support from their constituencies, because they're seeing that demonstrated elsewhere as the tactic to utilize. So with that said, I mean, it is important, if we want the best budget possible, to reach out and to advocate. Speaker Hall does have, members of our body that they represent. So, I just encourage all of us to engage in that dialogue and to advocate, because it matters for county services and employees at the end of the day. So thank you for that. All right, with that, I think we'll move on to members' time. Commissioner Ray, would you like to start? Okay, Commissioner Wheeler.
Thank you, Chair. Just want to thank all staff and the departments again for your work on the budget. I know it's a really big undertaking, especially administration, putting it all together and all the work that goes into it. And then thank you again for the annual reports. It's really insightful, especially sitting up here on a dais and not getting to see what our employees do day to day, what our departments do. And so getting that overview and seeing the impact that you all have on our county is fantastic from my perspective. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Commissioner Mazer. Okay, Commissioner Gissler.
Thank you. I have just a very few items. One, I want to remind everybody that I know we're going to have a meeting on the 16th, but the 17th is Constitution Day, and I'll be bringing pocket constitutions for everybody. This year, they're slightly updated in terms of the background information. Obviously, they didn't rewrite the Constitution. The group that I host every second Monday will be meeting next Monday at the Mark's Diner in Portage on romance, and we'll have a speaker there from Mackinac. We haven't had anybody from the Mackinac Center in 2 to 3 years, and that's a good outfit for us to stay in touch with, and you're more than welcome. Anybody that's interested, please show up. If it turns your crank, wonderful, and if you just are curious, that's okay too. And lastly, I want to remind everybody, this year we are going to be prioritizing, like it or not. We can't do everything for everybody all the time, and some of it may hurt. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Gissler. So optimistic. Let's go to Commissioner DeLue.
I love the phone. I need a card to hold it. That's a couple things. I always tell people that they should be impressed with our county government, because I am. And just even tonight, listening to Rachel Grover and Macy Walters, I'm like, I wish I had that now. This is a great presentation. I wish I could somewhat understand everything they said, but I mean, it's just, you feel so comfortable having people like that in leadership around here, and I appreciate that. And I also appreciated Vice Chair Taylor's leadership tonight when he actually said he wanted to make a motion he knew it was going to pass. So I'm not sure on that tactic, but I appreciated that, and thanks for a great meeting.
Thank you, Commissioner DeLue. All right, with that, it looks like our agenda is exhausted. Good work, everybody. We're adjourned.